the rolling waves present the drifting city. There's a corner of the lower decks that meets the city proper, the deep city that used to be risen before the world ended. The apocalypse may have been temporary, but this rock made its choice. The Haven decks themselves stretch out behind the uprooted mountain like a comet's tail, a mismatch of pieced together scrap metal and molded stone. But there's a solidness here in Border Town, the neighborhood with official pathways into Deep City and its better, safer neighborhoods. Border Town has a reputation as being the place for those who tried and failed to pretend they were better than the rest. But in reality, it's just another lower deck slum with one wall bordered by rock rather than void. The group meets at the gondola and makes their way here to Border Town. And it's there that you find the office of one Wrexham Relane, mercenary detective. His office is on the 3rd floor of a squat office building only 4 floors tall. The iron door has Wrexham's name and title painted on it in a long since faded golden script. You can barely make it out as you approach. The door to the office is closed. What do you do?
I'll knock on the door.
Are we all here?
Mm-hmm.
There's no response.
I'll look at Rook.
I'm also gonna knock on the door.
The silence inside persists.
Okay, I'll
gonna
try
say
to
what-
open it.
Dude, before that, was he ever cagey about opening doors?
Go ahead and do a history check.
I'll take it.
Oh, you don't have like a secret handshake with the guy?
Hey, look, man, I don't know. I got a 16.
No more or less than anybody should here in the lower decks, is what you recall. But Valentine, you go and you try the door, and it is locked.
Y'all want me to pick it, or?
No. No.
Morin
Bummer.
immediately puts away the lock-picking tool she'd taken out of her pocket.
You do realize we're here for the person and not like the interior of the office, right?
No, I have no idea what we're doing. I just assumed it'd be safer if we were here together.
Yeah, fair enough, actually.
And I will say, Enix is here as well. He trailed behind you. He's a little quiet. He's cradling his broken arm, but he's just sort of observing.
Yeah, about that. When I noticed that,
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody sees Enix there.
Actually, I would, if it's alright, I would love kind of like a description of what Enix looks like.
Morin?
He's an astral elf, and so he has this just kind of really gorgeous mid-tone purple skin. He's 19 approximately. Astral elf years are a little different, but he's young adult. He has this light in his eyes that tells you that he's really excited to be there. He has white hair, kind of like Morin, but where hers kind of floats out gracefully, his kind of sticks out, as though he didn't have any thought in the morning other than to like run a hand through it and decide it was good. He has a lot of contained energy, so even though he is acting a little reserved and shy, you can tell that he's kind of waiting for any moment to be involved. And Morin did not introduce him. She just kind of showed up with him.
Okay. Hello. I see that your arm is injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you mind if I fixed it for you?
And then Anix looks at you, Morin, like, what? Doesn't know what to do with that.
She's good at that kind of thing. I was stabbed a couple days ago and she fixed me up. So
She was unconscious outside of my house.
Oh, Morin didn't give me those details. I knew you were stabbed, Morin, but I assumed you just kind of figured it out.
Forgot about that part.
I mean, it's you. Of course you were going to figure it out. I wasn't worried. I didn't know it was the person. Yeah. Normal looking human person.
This is Chrys.
I do not know if I am human or not.
I was taking a stab in the dark.
Hello, I am Chrys. Yes.
Enix.
Hello.
Sure, you want to fix my arm?
Chrys casts. Let's see. How bad's he looking?
I mean, he looks beat up. He has a broken arm, but, like, he's not on death's door or anything.
Okay, I'll cast first level Cure Wounds. And let me do the dice roll for that. Okay, let's see. Okay. That's 18.
Beautiful.
I rolled really high.
More hit points than Enix has.
Wow.
I am so concerned now.
That scares me.
Oh, guys, he's gonna be fine.
Enix isn't even level 3. He hasn't taken the creed.
There you go. I hope that feels better.
Whoa. Yeah, that's great. Oh, goodness. I feel like my face looked good. Did they put it back right? Am I as handsome as I was? Looking at Morin for affirmation.
Yes, you look fantastic. You look like you're ready to get 2 more black eyes. Please don't.
You know, you gotta make room. But anyway, I know that this guy said he did. Do you want me to pick the lock? I could use the practice.
It's true.
I'll try one more time to get in touch with him before we break into his home. It's not a great first impression. I'm gonna cast message. It says to point to a creature within range. So I'm gonna point through the door and say, Mr. Relaine, an old friend and some potential clients are here to see you. If you could answer the door, please.
Okay. You kind of have to do a wide aim. Maybe you can cast it a couple different times at different points in front of you to kind of get the cone. But on one of the times you cast it, you can almost feel when a message actually reaches a target versus just sort of gets launched into the nothing. And on one of the times it hits a target, but then there is no response.
Either your friend is not a chatty, kind Rook, or something's wrong. My spell made contact, but there is no response.
It
Always good sign.
doesn't look like there's any sort of signs of, a break-in or any struggle or anything like that by the room, right?
Do an investigation check for me.
Boy, can I.
Or you could just say no.
That is going to be rolled an 11, so that is going to be a 19.
You don't see any signs of forced entry.
It.
Yet. Crazy.
With a 19, you see Morin's hand slowly inching towards the door.
We just had a long rest, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Chrys is going to raise their hand.
I can do a thing that reads for people's minds, if that is good.
Valentine, you said your spell landed there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't exactly do that. Where were you pointing when it landed?
Great question. Where's
Straight
that pointing?
ahead. Yes.
Straight ahead.
That's
I'm
where
just-
you remember his desk being.
Cool. I'm just gonna knock and just go. Wrexham, it's Rook. Nothing fishy going on. Here to talk.
There is no sound or movement inside.
Okay, Morin, do you want to open the door?
Permission from Rook?
Has he ever pulled anything like this, or is this really out of character?
You, as you're standing here, are getting the sinking feeling that this might be the kind of situation you've impacted before. You get the feeling that it might not be that something untoward has happened, but he might not be in a state to come answer the door right now.
Okay, he like kind of shouts through the door, I'll be back later. Yeah, I'll come back another time. It's just,
So,
you
we're
just-
not breaking in?
Yeah, is that a yes or a no on the breaking in?
There is a no on the breaking in. We're right here.
So we don't need this information? Our lives aren't on the line?
look, this guy's old. I'm not gonna break into it. He's clearly in his office, and he clearly simply cannot get to the door. At the same time, there's not that big of a target to where we can't saunter around and wait for just like a couple hours.
He could be bleeding out in there.
Is he old enough to not be able to get to the door and have that be a regular thing?
Sorry, is he old enough to not be able to get to the door and also not respond via yelling through?
No, trust me, this man's got some pipes on him.
So we should be concerned about the state he's in then, yes?
I don't think anything's wrong, but at the same time, I don't want to open the door that is clearly locked with the man inside at his desk that feels like he's simply just not able to get to the door right now. Because either he is asleep or he is occupied with something, or possibly a combination of the two. I don't know how you pull that off, but
Or he's dead on the floor and his murderer is sitting at his desk.
well, then your message wouldn't have gone through to him, now would have.
But it would have gone through to someone.
Because they just pointed.
We can always break in and then just back out.
Now, just
I
to
think I can
Oh,
relock
that's a
it.
bad sign. Oh, that's a bad sign.
Don't-
Narrator.
I heard
Like,
dice
let's
rolling.
let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
I was about-
As you look, you see, having failed his stealth check, Enoch slowly inching his lock-picking
my
tools
God.
towards the door.
No, no.
He rolled a
Okay,
4 on the die. He's not sneaky enough.
Rook is just going to shoot him a very harsh glare.
Oh, thank you for following up with that statement, because I was
Too much hesitation.
Oh my god.
Enoch just looks at Rook and is like, hey. All right.
Rook's
Fine. I
been
just thought
hiding
I'd
a
get this
Glock
thing
the whole
moving.
time.
I don't know.
Okay. But just to confirm that I have what you said right, narrator, before I break into the office of my mentor.
Side note, I wanted to clarify that when Chrys was explaining that, they can cast detect thoughts. That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Because
Um,
Chrys doesn't know what that is, but they can do it.
Yeah. This feels like something that has happened before, / does not raise that many alarm bells in my mind, despite my mind being very prone to alarm bells, yes?
Towards the end of your tumultuous relationship with Wrexham Relane, you knew him to be one who self-medicated.
I see. Cool.
So it became less and less uncommon to have him not answer the door.
Great. I'm just gonna say, look, it's definitely him in there. You were pointing at his desk. I already checked, no sign of struggle at the door. He's at the desk. He's not able to come right now. Couple hours, hour, maybe 2, should be fine. He looks over at Mr. Lockpick again.
Enix is not trying again. He's just holding his lockpicks just like by his ear, just sort of leaning up against the wall, just like trying to be casual.
Stow him.
All right, well, you know the man more than we do, but if we come back in a couple hours and we get the same response, I vote we break in.
Seconded.
Sure, I'll third that as well. Because at that point, something is wrong. But usually, this has happened before. And usually, my main way of dealing with it is just giving it a little bit of a wait.
So we.
So y'all are just gonna take a couple laps around the building.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Get some fried provisions on the corner, sit on a
Fried
stoop.
provisions is
and...
crazy.
Act like we're not a strange group of people to just be hanging out nonchalantly together.
My God. While we are waiting, Chrys is going to get Orion's attention. I made this for you. Thank you for letting me stay at your house. And they're going to hold out the token that they made.
Oh. Oh. Thank you, Chrys.
It can, I put a spell in it. It can heal you once.
Once. Ah, yes, as in the number count. That is really handy. I don't know what to say.
You were all in a lot of danger last time, apparently, so I wanted to make sure that maybe you would be in less danger slightly if that happened again.
Thank you, Chrys. I really do want to make sure that, you're able to go home soon. So, while you're here, right, since you're stuck with us, it looks like for the time being, I guess want you to feel at least a little safer, with a group of people that can watch your back anywhere. And he makes it a point to look at Chanterelle while he's saying that.
Chanterelle is just like little nubbin fist and little nubbin cupped hand.
I've got my eyes on you. But yeah, and Orion tucks it away into one of his pants pockets and just sincerely thanks Chrys. I think in this moment, Orion wasn't really expecting anything. He knows that Chrys kind of has a habit of being like, oh, like you did something for me, so here's something in return. But I feel like genuinely yesterday or a shift ago when they were sleeping, he just felt so like the defeated look that everybody had, the general vibe that everything was happening. Just a bare corner to sit in didn't feel like something that should warrant something of this caliber. He's very thankful for it, but it also feels a little undeserved. So he pockets it and kind of does like an awkward handshake type thing with Chrys, because I'm sure Chrys doesn't know how to do a handshake and it's too late to take it back, so they just kind of do like an awkward grasp at each other.
Is this also a thing people do?
Yeah. I should have prefaced this. It's like you just put your hand in a fist and yep, like that.
Cool.
Chrys kind of just like swings your arms like this. They're not quite sure how to do a handshake.
Yeah, close enough.
It's like that awkward thing that like character that doesn't know how to do a handshake like is just kind of swinging it, but it's like way too long.
Beautiful. How long do you all kill time?
I feel like Valentine would start kind of making a stink after like an hour.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know how long he's already been like that, but probably like hourly.
Hourly going to check. After an hour, you go and knock on the door and there's still no response.
Well,
Would you
kid,
like me to
your time to shine.
Would you like me to do the thing before that?
You know, actually, yes. Yes, I would. Just to confirm that it is not, in fact, his murderer sitting in his chair as he lies dead on the floor, as someone so eloquently put it.
I try.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
Detect thoughts.
Yeah.
I thought that was the
Alright,
thoughts
I
first.
believe
So I can-
it is a
I can-
wisdom saving throw, correct?
It's a wisdom save if I'm probing deeper, but I can sense thoughts, which means I can sense the presence of thoughts within 30 feet of myself that belong to a creature that knows languages. And then also I can read the thoughts of anyone that I can see within 30 feet or anyone that I've detected with the sense thoughts option.
Okay.
And it lasts for a minute.
Okay. So since you can sense the presence of a creature within 30 feet of yourself, you cannot read the thoughts, but you know that the thinking creature is present. You know that a thinking creature is present on the other side of this door. Within 30 feet, in fact, you would estimate that it's about 20 feet in front of the door, there is a thinking creature. You only detect one thinking creature. And you can't read the thoughts, but you do know it's there. There is a thinking creature there.
I can't, like, once I know the thinking creature's there, I can't use detect thoughts to detect the thoughts.
Well, you would need to probe deeper.
No, it's just the surface level thoughts.
Yeah, don't you automatically get surface level?
Yeah, you
thoughts?
you automatically get surface level thoughts.
Okay. So surface level thoughts. I'm going to have you do a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
What?
That's great. Let's say 16.
Okay, that is a failure.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
You are warm. You're warm all over. And your soul is at peace. You're sitting at your desk, your feet are up. A cold glass of rads are in your hand. You have a case file open in your lap. And you're reading over horrible, grisly murder, but it's the kind of thing that makes you feel alive when you finally solve it. And you look across the desk and you see just a halo of a woman. Her features are blacked out under the light of some ribbon that flows loosely around her face, effervescent light that blocks out the intricacies of her features. As she leans forward and pulls the file from your lap and looks it over. Wrexham, you're missing all the right clues. They're right there. He grabs the file back. Darling, just give me a minute. I'm reading. It takes me time. All right, well, we all know how you like taking your time. All right. Just wait a minute. We can go out on the prowl later. Whatever you say. Just don't keep me waiting. Wouldn't dream of it, Angel. Wouldn't dream of it. And in a moment, you're blinking back to yourself.
That was weird. That's not usually what happens.
Is it a murderer?
I do not believe so. I didn't. Usually I just hear the thoughts of the person, but I saw like a vision or something. I was in his place, having a conversation with somebody. Very bright. Kind of like...
Well, at least that means he's not dead.
I don't know if that was a thought or not. Do I know what just happened or no?
No, this is completely new to you.
Would I know anything about how they're describing it?
Give me an Arcana check.
I'll take it.
Or
I-
medicine.
Or
I kind of
medicine.
just, yeah, I explained what happened. Yeah.
Arcana it is.
There was a file of things
not
on my
bad.
lap and stuff.
It's a 12 for a total of 17.
And
Ooh.
17. Given what you already know about Wrexham, there are a variety of substances that could give someone visions, put them in a trance. You knew Wrexham to prefer rads to most anything else, but it's been years since you talked to him last.
Cool.
Am I like still able to read surface thoughts? Because it lasts for a minute. So
I'll say like that vision was a minute. Like you were sucked into a minute vision of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might not have expired in a minute real time, but like there was moments of silence and just it was a very peaceful, like the entire time you felt deep in your soul that all was right.
Yep.
So maybe he is dying.
It was nice.
Nope, he is stoned out of his mind.
So should we go in, or are we taking another lap?
He'll come out of it in a bit. He ain't
Okay.
dead, that's for sure. I think he's too stubborn and cantankerous to die, but... Anyway,
I'm sick of waiting. Let's just go in.
I'm on the same page.
Surely it can't be more invasive to break into his house than it was to read his thoughts.
Read his thoughts specifically. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't dead.
That's okay. You didn't do anything wrong, Chrys.
no,
Yeah,
that's...
and-
I requested that. That's fine.
Well, must be right if Rook requested it.
I'll say. Rook, your passive
couldn't-
perception is 16, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could not
What
agree
is-
more.
what
Thank,
does that mean?
Thank you for coming to
All
that,
right.
that point
You
of
guys
awareness
hear a little as
There we
Enix unlocks the door, having while you guys were talking and having it took him a little while while Chrys was having the vision and
No.
we're all watching Chrys, but he managed to finally get it open. And the thing that alerts you that it opened more so than the click is just the little yeah. That's when
Can I dap him up?
oh yeah, you know, he gets it right there, and he goes.
Oh my god.
Sorry, there was all this talking, and I just, I need to practice. I can lock it again if you want. I just,
No, the door's open now. We may as well check it out. I'm just
Rook-
gonna swan in there.
Yeah.
Oh my
Rook,
god.
If it would ease your mind, you and Valentine can go in there, and we will stay here until we hear screams of the damned, and then we'll come get you. Otherwise, you're welcome to go in there and take a look at how far out in the void he is, and come right back, and we can do another loop.
Yeah, I'm already inside.
yeah.
I think if you were
well,
about...
We're
I
gonna
think
die.
if you were about to slip in... This is all a lot of just nonsense that just happened in a very short succession. Yeah, cool, okay. Rook's gonna shoot over to Morin and just be like, could you get your friend under control?
I thought that he did a great job. You didn't even hear him.
Alex leans over to Morin. He's like, yeah, it was like real sneaky. I did it. Like nobody saw me. It was great.
I'm talking to you later. But you can keep your attitude away from him.
Alex is so torn. He's like...
You're lucky that you're a friend of an acquaintance and not a random person who just broke into this office. That's all I'll say.
Get in there. Valentine's already in there. I thought you knew this, dude.
Yeah, whatever. And it's going to be exactly what Let me handle it. He just goes in as well.
So how's your day been going, guys?
We cut to
Well,
inside.
This can only go badly.
Yeah.
No.
Valentine, as you enter the office, you have a few beats to yourself before Rook comes in behind you. The first sense you experience as you enter Rex and Merlane's office is a fierce smell of rads and dust. The walls are stained a mottled yellow from what has probably been decades of indoor wispweed smoke. The light in here is dim. The room is mostly in shadow. And I'm going to have you do a perception check for me with advantage because you know roughly where you're looking.
You said that was what rolls again?
Perception.
Cool.
Ooh, a 16.
Perception with advantage?
Yes.
Cool.
And we'll have Rook do it too.
Great. That is going to be a dirty 20.
All right.
Ooh.
So as you enter the room, you see an outline of a large desk in front of you. But the thing that really catches your eye is the figure that's slumped over it. You can barely make out the figure of a masculine form with curved horns and ruddy red skin. It's the color of clay, you think, from the pictures you've seen of upper deck gardens in the news parchment. There is evidence of rad drinking. There are empty rad bottles and a partially full glass of rads, a deep, deep red on the desk. And as you're looking at the desk itself, both of you do a nature check for me.
Oh boy.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
14.
15.
I mean, both of you have not seen it a whole lot, but have seen it before. You see the offcuts of still stock fungus. And as you are sort of looking, you see that Wrexham, when you get closer, you're able to flick on a lamp that's on the desk, and his skin is that clay red, but it has tinges of blue at the tips of his pointed ears and at the edges of his horns. It sort of curved down around his face in a loop near his eye, and there's sort of blue at the tips of the horns as well. He's laying on his side, the horns kind of causing his neck to be at what looks like a horribly uncomfortable angle as he lays on his desk. His eyes are wide open but completely glazed over with a weird white film. And he has what appears to be the remnants of shimmer on his skin, of the shine that you get from drinking too many rads. But it seems to have, and with those nature checks, you know that people who eat a lot of still stock fungus tend to secrete a mucus through their skins. And it looks like the mucus has combined with the shimmer to form almost a hard face mask over his whole body of this like hardened, like he's been laying here for so long that the secreted shimmer and mucus has congealed on his skin. And that's what you see as it's just this crust over his body as he's laying there. And it takes a minute, but as you get closer, you do see his back just ever so slightly rising and falling with breathing.
Well, thank you for the break-in advice. in my defense, this is worse than I'd ever seen it. So,
And I'll say if you want, you can do a medicine check for me.
Yeah, I would
Both
love
of you.
to.
yeah, I would love to, as I am going to grab the remaining still stock and tossing it halfway across the room. Like, I grab it and I chuck it hard against the opposite wall.
That fixed it. That was a 12.
We get, oh, not great. And that's a 5.
Okay. I'll say with a 12, Valentine, you know that mixing substances tends to have strange effects when people do so. But you've heard the term that relates to what happens when you take both still stock fungus and drink a lot of rads. And the term is wrapped. He's wrapped right now. You get the sense that he's probably in a deep, peaceful vision. But with a 12, you don't quite know the correct or like a safe way to bring someone back to being sober. It kind of is, from what you are aware of, a waiting game.
Gosh, do I think it would like... I know that I don't know a safe way to bring him out of it, but like, would it kill him if I dumped water on him or something?
You don't know these as being like terribly lethal drugs, but you do know that people who frequently abuse either rads or still stock fungus can have severe mental repercussions. It can do bad things to your psyche. So abusing them together is kind of like, okay, but like it's the abuse of them that causes this mental damage. You don't know what would happen if you tried to like pull someone out of one of these trances. But you do know consistent abuse of these items can cause severe psychiatric issues.
Would I be familiar at all as far as pulling someone out of a still stock trance?
I would say that would be something. Yeah, I'll have you have rolled your medicine check from before with advantage.
Okay.
I should have given you advantage on that from your experience.
The advantage did help.
Nice.
Thank you. So this one is actually going to be a 22.
Okay, that's a significant difference. So
There we go.
So yeah, the experience is revealing itself. You have more experience with just still stock abuse, but you have less experience when combined with rads, because that's when you're getting into like neither one is doing enough for you anymore. It takes a lot of abuse before people sort of get to this point, and you haven't dealt with that as much. But you do know that when someone is deep in a still stock trance, or even if you abuse rads, that can cause hallucinations as well. You typically know that anything that removes the poisoned condition, like mechanically, would be able to assist with this. Or if someone is able to do some sort of medicine check, spending an hour of a certain DC, then they can slowly work. It's like basically how you have to lead a sleepwalking person back to bed and then allow them to wake naturally, but you can kind of speed up the process. That's essentially what you can do with a high enough medicine check.
Alright, well, guess we're just gonna have the whole merry band show up now. Alright, everyone, you can come in. This is just pathetic. Cool. Chrys?
Is he all right?
No, he's stupid. You can do like healing type stuff, right?
Yes. Is this
Do I know what's going on?
Oh, Chrys,
Because
you
I
have
don't
no
think I've ever-
idea. There would
Yeah,
be
I don't
no
think I've
frame of
ever seen
reference for
someone
you.
tripped out in my life.
what's wrong with him?
He poisoned himself.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can help with that if that's the problem. Would you like me to help with that? Or
Yeah, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for a good while longer.
okay.
Chrys is going to cast Lesser Restoration.
What does it look like when Chrys casts that spell?
So think of it like, you know how like some plants or mushrooms can like soak up stuff like that? Some like mushrooms grow out of his hair or whatever he has up there, and basically some like some mushrooms that have glowing patterns, and they start to suck up the rats and stuff, all the poison.
Nice.
Magically, of course.
Yeah, to sort of further describe him, he does have hair. He has close cropped, but what appears to have been long before styled with some gel that has kind of managed to hold it in place, though it's starting to fall. Salt and pepper, more salt than pepper these days, hair on his head around the horns. And these mushrooms grow and then, sort of fall off of his body, having soaked up the effects of everything. And by casting it this way and describing it that way, it seems like it's while I'm sure it's a touch-based spell, but it seems to have taken slightly longer to do it this way, a little bit more of a gradual transition. So in this moment, he sort of blinks his eyes, and you see that it's painful to do so. They were completely dried out. And as he does, the white film slowly begins to disappear, and you see that almost snake-like orange-yellow eyes are behind the white film as he blinks, and you see the crust sort of flake away at the corners of his eyes where he's starting to blink. And then as he sort of shifts and moves and starts to sit up, all of the crust that was on his skin cracks and starts flaking off of his face and off of his hands as he moves his fingers. And you can tell from the way he sort of shifts uncomfortably, there is a dark black leather trench coat over what appears to be a linen black vest, a black undershirt with a black tie that is loose around his neck, and what appears to be linen black breeches. Just all black, this guy, head to toe. But as he sort of shifts, you get the sense that this flaking is happening all over his body as he's sitting up. His clothes, even though they're black, you see they seem like stained through with this weird rad mucus as he sits up. And he looks around at all of you, and he is immediately going to do a wisdom saving throw. Rolls a natural 4. And as soon as his eyes hit Valentine, he begins screaming. And for the sake of my neighbors, I won't scream. But he goes, No, I didn't know. I couldn't have known that it would. And he begins to hyperventilate, and he backs away from Valentine to the wall and holds his hand to his head and begins just like open-eyed weeping as he stares at you.
Well, that isn't the first impression I like to make.
Let me handle this one. Wrexham. And I'm just gonna like direct him towards me. Just, hey, look at me.
The Rook, the ghosts are walking. They're everywhere. They're here. I can't. I gotta. Where's my? And he begins sort of looking around.
Hey, breathe. Breathe. You need to take a sec. How heavy have you been using lately?
Go ahead and do a persuasion check for me.
That I will do, no problem.
As you're trying to like calm him and bring him back.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. That's a 17 plus 6 for a 23.
Woo! As you start talking to him and like reaching out to sort of direct him to you, his hand immediately grabs at your forearm from where it was reaching out to him, and it seems like he's using it like he's gripping you, like if he doesn't hold on to you, he will fly away. And in fact, like the black talon-like claws at the end of his hands not on purpose, but kind of dig uncomfortably into the clothes of your arm. And you get the sense that, like, if he grabbed any harder, like, the claws would tear into your clothing. But he's managing not to do that. And he looks into your eyes, and he's like, Wait. Yeah, Rook. Oh.
Yeah, me.
Oh.
You've clearly been using. You've been getting worse.
Yeah. What's it to you? It doesn't matter. And
Well-
he starts to kind of pull away from you a little bit. I'm fine. It's all good. It's none of your business what I'm up to. Whatever
Well-
it takes to get a man through the day, okay?
I couldn't agree more. But what are you talking about with the ghosts walking around?
And he looks back up at you, Valentine. He's gonna roll something.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
He looks at you, and you can do an insight check if you want, Valentine.
I would love to.
Please.
Come on. I'm cursed again. That is an 11.
His expression's really hard to read, but he looks at you and basically immediately seems like he's pulling himself back together. And he looks at Rook and he goes, I was coming out of what I was coming out of. It's fine. We're all good. Why are you here, Rook? You haven't been here in years. What do you need from me?
Well, couple things. Figured I should drop by, say hi. You know, as one does every so often when the busyness doesn't overwhelm him. Secondly,
You know what, Rook? I don't know that. You haven't been here in, what, 4 years? 5? More? I don't know you to have stopped by. You seem to have thought you were too good for me. Why are you here now?
look, I need advice and I need help, and yet it's been a time, okay? And clearly that goes across the board. Plain and simple, I just had a murder case that I was on, and the victim was walking around afterwards and threatened my life. The victim who I saw dead in the first place.
Rexon's one eyebrow. I can't cock one eyebrow. One eyebrow cocks.
I have no real explanation for this. Body was there. Crime scene was investigated. I had a lead. Followed up on it. That became a whole bag of worms. Long story short, the person who I was supposed to be investigating the murder of then appears with several other people who threatened both my life and the life of my acquaintances here. Introductions will be made after I make my case. And I'm not quite sure what to do with that because, one, I don't know what to tell the client remotely, and two, I've never seen a murder victim get up, start walking around, and then start tailing the person who's supposed to be investigating their own murder.
Can't say that's common.
But I figure you've been in the game a bit longer than me, so maybe you might have seen a thing or two.
Yeah. Seen a thing or two. Who are the others? The hangers on.
These would be my newfound acquaintances. I will let them share their names at their discretion. However, the one you were promptly freaking out about is the one who next has priority to speak to you. So I'm gonna let her do her piece.
My name's Valentine. I do favors for people around town, and I heard that you're the man to see if you want to get in with Uncle Ebder.
Do another insight check.
Mm-hmm. I would love...
Oh, the plot
Let's use
thickens.
a new die, because I need to roll a good number. Okay. No. That's an 8.
He's
Starting
still
to think your
really,
place-
yeah, he's still really hard to read. You say that, and he looks at you. Who told you?
Eteria.
He seems to think for a minute. He's going to roll.
Could I also be really scrutinizing his expressions throughout this whole process?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I
Marilyn,
would
I'm-
love you to make an insight
Yippee.
check.
Yeah, Marilyn, I'm starting to suspect that your house is just tilted.
Okay.
That's
Every
I-
single roll that Marilyn makes is just cocked because
I
her house.
rolled- I don't understand. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, it's not that much better, but I got a 15.
Okay. I'll say with a 15, because I'll say this kind of goes towards Valentine starting talking to now, because that's when you sort of started really scrutinizing versus sort of making sure he was not absolutely losing his mind. When Valentine mentions Uncle Ebder, his face, it's a 15, so it's not that deep, but there is more so a tension in his body that you know from your years when you did work with him is his immediate like tell of like fight or flight. He immediately like gets a spark of, oh, okay, like let's you know, fight or flight response to that name. But there is something else there that you just can't quite put your finger on that he had in response to that question. The most obvious thing is what you were able to see is that he had that fight or flight response to that name. And he rolled, and then he goes, I don't know that I know an Eteria.
Insight check? Can I
Go
make
for
one?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also going to second that.
We are all inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10.
Got a 17.
Nice. 10, still hard to read. But you don't detect dishonesty with a 10. And with a 17, you don't detect dishonesty either. What you detect is confusion. Because that name is not, it does not immediately spark anything in his mind, and he's confused about that. He goes,
She's blonde, an elf, very mysterious.
why don't you describe every single woman in this city? Well, I guess a good portion of the population, at least. Been a lot of pretty blondes. Not a lot of pretty answers. Unfortunately, that's what I have for you on that front.
I can pay anything you want.
I don't need money.
Anything you want. You want a favor?
I don't want anything from you.
Sorry to interject again. Wrexham, you said, have you been hearing things, seeing, like, some real spooky stuff? Trouble sleeping, maybe? And not just the normal trouble sleeping from the job. I mean, like some weird trouble sleeping.
You know the answer to that question, Rook. What'd I teach you about redundant questions?
Yeah, they waste time. I knew the answer, obviously, but I wanted to confirm, because hitting a little close to home. So, I suppose I more mean to say, what have you been seeing? Because stuff has felt a little restless on my end, too. Part of the reason for my absence. So,
Other than your Vic walking around the streets, what prompted this little visit, Rook? If you want my help, you need to give me context. I can't draw assumptions based on inadequate information.
Okay. For starters, one, I want your help, and two, genuinely, I did want to just visit, but I haven't had the opportunity, and, things get pushed back. And that's not an excuse, but I digress. The context, they were keeping the body intact. She was cult of the crew, so they were following that from the victim. And imagine my surprise when me and one of my acquaintances here are at my apartment. We get cornered by several folks who had chased us earlier that evening, involving this Eteria character that Valentine mentioned. And the person who was seemingly at the head of the pack obscured themselves. They had a cloak, they had a hood, just spoke real ominous. And then at the end of it, I saw the faintest glimpse of a face and a cult of the crew mark on the wrist. But she had like a weird, I want to say like a weird pallor to her. It was her, but it really did look like it was in fact the corpse that was moving around. She didn't look like how you'd expect, someone totally alive to be looking, but it was her. Phyllis was her name.
They work for the cousins.
Yeah.
She's probably newer on the scene than most. I don't know her. But,
They also had a few others who worked for the cousins. There was one, almost, Blue Fingers, Truncheon, Squeak, and, Break-In or something. I want to say they're cousins. Or associated.
Guess we're doing this. Wrexham stands up, and before you can act, he swipes the glass of Rads off the desk and downs it, and walks back to a drape that is hanging over the back wall. It's the same sort of ugly yellow color. You think maybe it once had been a beige or cream drape, but it's now this like stained yellow. And he pulls it across the rung, revealing the back wall of his office is just floor to ceiling. Pieces of paper, like literally black marker on the wall, and red string as he goes, I haven't been paying too much attention to the lower down rungs of the cousins. I don't know much about it. I've been tracking those at the top. I've been trying to draw connections and figure out a way to pull down the guy, Uncle Ebder. Haven't made much progress in a while. But, as you can see, done a lot. It hasn't really come to much.
Can I do some kind of check to just like scan, just looking for all kind of mentions and information about Ebder on the board?
Yeah, I'll say in order to get just like a lay of the land, you would catch sort of major names and whatnot. It would be perception, but if you wanted to take a minute and really sort of analyze, it would be investigation, but you'd get more information.
I'm gonna do perception because I'm better at it, but There's, with the way I'm rolling.
I'm
Yeah.
channeling. No.
Okay, a 10.
Okay. I'll say the thing that sticks out most to you is that there is a sketched, like photograph, hand drawn of Uncle Ebter. It is, he looks older than your memory, and his features are creased and worn with the added years, and vividly depicted in this sketch is a hand-shaped scar on the side of his face. The tip of the middle finger and the bottom of the ring sort of on either side of his left eye, with the pinky finger going up and over his lips, and the index finger and the the thumb sort of on his neck and by his ear, sort of stretched out all over the left side of his face. And below it, in sort of wildly scrawled charcoal marking, it just says, the pale hand. And then there are lines from that leading to sketches of different people.
Okay.
I've been trying to track down lieutenants and whatnot, cut things off at the source, but Wrexham starts sort of swiping. You cleansed his system, but he has had a smaller amount of rads than most people would be able to consume before getting shine, but he's already starting to have a little bit of shine sort of link from his hairline as he sort of wipes it away from the little drink that he had. And he goes, but haven't been making a lot of progress. I got a few names, few faces, but don't have a lot of detail in the operation or much more about it, but I don't encourage anyone else getting deep in this. Only leads to trouble.
I've heard that before.
We're kind of already deep in this.
Yeah, or it feels like it's kind of already there.
I don't know most of you. If I don't know you, you're not in too deep. You can get out.
Well, this did happen literally last night, so...
Well, I don't know about any of the people you mentioned, so they must not be too deep in it either.
Well, it's also just the extremely disconcerting part of someone who is working for the cousins seemingly being what I can only describe as a corpse that decided not to be a corpse anymore.
I don't know that that's that strange. I don't know if you've been hearing about some of the proposals from the first council. There's been talk about the labor shortages after the wilt outbreak. Some of the Colton of crew have been volunteering. There's been some talk about getting, you know, those who got gone back up on their feet and working the engines. It's not too crazy. Do you not pay attention to the wires?
I've been a little out of the loop lately, yeah.
Alright, well, there's a charter on the voting block in a few weeks. Would extend some funding for that sort of thing. Only volunteers, they say.
Have you been down near the engines at all recently?
I don't get that way too often.
Okay.
But, I don't know. What you're describing doesn't seem necessarily like what the first council's thinking about. But I don't know. Are you sure, I know you said it was a while. Corpse on the floor, probably not something. I mean,
It wasn't slightly dead. It was her throat was torn out. Her neck was in awful condition. It was this was a violent, not exactly a subtle death.
There's some people that can work with that. They're expensive, but it's possible. Just got to think through all the options. If not that, then what? What do you want from me?
What are you asking? You know what I want.
I'm not going to give it to you.
Why not?
I'm
Anyway.
done seeing pretty angels die in this city.
Look, I'm at a complete loss. I've gotten into situations with work before. This feels a little different. This feels a lot more organized, and it feels like it might be deeper than it's belying at the moment. And so, really, the only person with the wherewithal and the experience here, and the knowledge in terms of relevant persons, was you. I'm kind of just as much in open water here too, but what I can also say is what you've been hearing, that's not just a you thing. Things feel restless. It feels, I don't know, probably only way I can describe it in conjunction with how you looked when you just woke up and how you're talking about it as tormented. Have you been getting that too?
Risen's dead. Don't leave. Their bodies might get taken by the storm, but not their souls. Not anymore.
Now what the hell is that supposed to mean?
You tell me. I don't know, but I felt it. Something's off. Something's wrong.
You can say that again.
That's why we're here.
Who are you?
Just a passenger tagging along. What do you mean by souls that they don't leave anymore? I mean, isn't that... What do you mean by that?
I don't talk to people I don't know.
Well, if you're happy to sit in your little room and stay wrapped forever, then that's your choice. Clearly, yeah, and you're right. We don't know you. Good company is
Orion,
hard
what's
to
your
find.
armor class?
Oh. 16.
Bro hit a nerve.
All right. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
I have never been so happy that I spec'd into athletics. I knew this was going to happen.
Bro's getting a whole
Oh my
desk
God.
thrown at his head.
At least throwing a desk is less cryptic
you
than
roll?
whatever's
Would've
Would've got a
happening
nat
right
one
now.
What'd you
or a nat
roll?
20.
Porter, please tell me it was the latter.
I am not even joking. I am not even joking. I have proficiency in athletics. I have a +6. I nat 20'd.
Ooh.
Ooh. Finally.
Nice.
What happens to me?
Well, first of all, you are hit by a solid right hook across the face.
On a nat
Rexon
20.
beat your armor class. What he was going to do was punch you, and then for his second attack, do a shove attack to shove you into the wall. You resist with that nat 20 strength, but you do get punched across the face. And let me actually roll that damage. Okay, just 2 points of damage from that punch across the face. And we're not pushed into the wall, but Wrexham still like grabs on to the lapels of your, vest or shirt or whatever you're wearing. And he gets real close up into your eyes, and you can smell the rads and the remnants of the still stalk fungus on his breath as he looks at you, and he goes, "You don't have any right to tell me anything about how to handle my pain. You don't have any right to tell me anything about how to do anything. I don't know you, and you come in here and you're criticizing me. I've seen more than what you in your little life could have ever seen. Don't you dare."
Orion is going to meet his gaze dead on. He's shaken by the lashing out, but he stares him in the eyes and says, "You're right. Like you said, we're all strangers here. You're right, and I probably don't have the right to criticize you, but you are far, far from the first person or the last person to be hurting. You are far from the first person that has seen things. And I'm not claiming, okay, there's no competition. I am not claiming or trying to claim that I have it worse off than you or any of us. But on this matter, Rook and I guess the rest of us, we're just trying to figure things out as much as you are. And if you're going to dash that opportunity, then be it. Do what you like. But all I know is that the more we fight amongst each other, while there are things out there that pick us off slowly one by one, and this is the hill you choose to die on, that's sad. That makes you a sad man."
I'll say, I don't know which charisma check would be best. I'm gonna say intimidation, but I know that the goal is not to terrify him, but so we'll flavor this intimidation a little bit, but I think that calls for something.
Roll for intervention.
Yeah.
Valentine has backed herself fully into a corner and is just frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this intimidation is a little worse for the wear. Where does a 13 get me?
What you said gives you advantage. I'll give you advantage for sure. I'm not just,
Yay.
I feel like what you said warrants it.
All right,
So-
red, black, or white?
Red.
Yeah.
Red. All right.
Also, seeing the tension start to escalate and knowing that Chrys is very unfamiliar to a lot of hostility, Rook is gonna just hold his hand up.
Yeah,
to Chrys.
Chris's eyes are glowing red.
Yeah. Rook
Oh.
just,
Chris's eyes are not red, by the way.
Yeah.
16?
Rook just holds his hand up and is like,
I'm gonna roll for Wrexham with 16.
"Oh boy."
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess
courses
who's
through
getting
my
another right hook?
Well, no, I'm just seeing how he would react.
Right hook?
Could be a left hook.
Oh.
You don't know what the red eyes mean. You just know that Chrys was for a second was thinking about doing something probably very bad.
Was Brooke going to do something? Oh, okay.
No, just making a joke that I'm holding my hand up to Chrys.
She's like, no. Wrexham looks at you, and he lets you go, but it doesn't seem like what you said has really sunken in. He goes back to his desk, opens it. There's another bottle in there, and he pours himself another drink. But at least he's sipping it this time. He doesn't throw it back. He's taking a slow sip, and he sets it down on his desk. And you see he looks around, and he sees the far corner of the room where there's like broken bits of fungus, but he doesn't go pick it up. He just looks at it and notices it. And then he looks back at all of you. I don't got it in me. There's not much of me left. I don't know if what I hear is reality or if it's all the other. I don't. Rook, I'll give you my files. You'll have to scrape them off my wall. But, I haven't actually made progress in a long time. Some of it might be a little outdated. I just don't have it anymore. I can't do what needs to be done. Not anymore.
You always know me. More than happy to pick up a case.
I don't know that you can do what
But
needs to be done either, Rook.
Could I? What do you think needs to be done here?
Justice died about 20 years ago, Rook. I knew her. And she's gone. The only thing that's left are the chains in the wake. Abder needs to be tied up
Well,
by his ankles and left to rot.
with the right info and the right leads, maybe that can happen. And as far as what you just said goes, I mean, clearly the dead haven't been too happy lately, so maybe that goes for justice too. But could I ask a favor? What little ground I do have to say that.
You can ask.
If you're gonna do something, don't do stills. Just don't do stills. I get that you're haunted, I get that it's tough, I get that you can't anymore. But that garbage will take you and reduce you to even less than you can be from just the wear and tear of your job in your life. It will reduce you to less than nothing. Please. I don't care what else you get into. I don't care how many rads you do. I don't care if it's whisk weed. I don't pick your poison. But for your own decency and for your own dignity as a man that I knew and hold in high esteem, just not stills.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, man. Disadvantage.
Can I do a guidance?
Okay.
I'll say you could if you wanted to.
Okay. I got the same thing
Okay.
twice.
That seems to be a running theme this time around.
That same thing was not bad. That is a
Right.
16 plus 6 for a 22.
Ah,
Wow.
all right.
He looks at you. It matters a lot that you care, Rook. That matters a lot to me. I'm not the man that mentored you. Not anymore. And, he sort of looks at the audience around. It beats me up inside that I couldn't be the man you wanted me to be. I wish I could. But I miss her too much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rook.
Who do you miss?
He looks at you.
If I may, would I know who he's talking about?
You know that he was in love with someone who died. That's what you know. You know no further details than that. He would not have told you. That's what you have gathered from context clues. And you can guess from the fixation on Ebder that he was involved. But that's pretty much the extent of what you know. And when you ask who, Valentine, he looks at you. And I'll give you one last chance for an insight check.
Please.
With
Please.
advantage this time.
Nth time's the charm.
I'm gonna do a guidance this time.
Okay, go for it. You can add a d4.
Hey. This is a 2 and a 17.
Nice, and
Oh,
add the
lovely.
d4. And I'm giving you advantage, not just out of pity, but I think he's being very raw and emotional. He's a bit easier to read right now.
19 plus 5, 24.
Nice. He looks at you, and suddenly everything gets pieced together, especially the timeline and the way he reacted to you and how Chrys described the vision and the board and everything else. And you know exactly who he's talking about. And suddenly it makes a whole lot more sense why he doesn't want you involved.
I think for once she's kind of lost for words and just kind of backs off and tries to fade into the background of this conversation.
Look, just take your rest. You've more than earned that at this point. You just focus on you. Do what you can. But if you'd like, and if you allow, I'm more than happy to pick up this case where you left off, because clearly something about this case seems to be picking me up too.
You could take the file. Whatever you can get of it. It's all up there. I wish I could rest, Rook. I don't wish this on you. But if you want it, you can have it. There's no rest for the wicked in this city, Rook, but they're the only ones who ever seem to be able to get any sleep.
So it would seem. But as far as the intrusive voices of those who are no longer with us, sometimes it seems that they just want a little company. So it might feel redundant, it might feel strange, but if that sort of thing keeps happening, just sometimes trying to address it a little delicately can make the situation better. It used to be a lot worse for me, but I think it's just a lot of folk that want to be listened to that can't be listened to by most.
Rex, I'm sorry that this is the point that we had to meet on, but you might not be the same man, but you are still a man. And I just know that everybody in the city deserves dignity, whatever form that might be, wherever they can find it.
Not everybody, kid. Not everybody. Sweet sentiment, though. Thanks. You take a right hook real good.
Thanks. I practice.
Anything else, or can I get back to existing?
Ryan, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Most of my face is still here. It's a win in my book.
Valentine's gonna lead the way out.
Who would be the last person in the office?
I think Rook's gonna linger a sec.
As everybody else goes, Wrexham's gonna wait till it's just him and Rook. And sort of wait for the others to walk just a second down the hallway, but not necessarily trying to like keep it too secret, but just having a moment to themselves. I take it like you're gathering all of the stuff off the wall, all the different pieces of paper. Sim at least is trying to kind of put them in piles that kind of make sense, but it's meant to be displayed vertically. And as he hands everything to you, he looks at you and he goes, "Take it you haven't learned the lesson yet."
Well, there's always a new lesson, but I think you mean probably something specific there.
You've always had a code, Rook. But codes don't solve mysteries. They don't stop bad guys, and they don't create good men. They're just a code. And yours is gonna get you killed.
Well, that may be. But I think I'll be burning that bridge when I get to it. I can be, somewhat adaptable when I need to be. But at the very least, if you don't stick to a code, if you don't stick to something, what do you have that anchors you to being anything? I gotta keep one thing consistent at the very least. If I can do that, then I can still have a semblance of stability.
If you're a good enough man, you can have a person. But I wasn't. So I don't. But, I don't think that girl's gonna heed my advice.
Definitely not. She's not very good at that. Actually, there is one thing now that I have just your ear. You said you've been kind of out of the game for a little while now. Do you hear anything at all from some of the Briggs end of things?
From time to time. I've got a couple of contacts.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to heard anything about Chrys, would you?
I always keep my ear out, kid. Haven't heard much. But, the trail's gone long cold. But that means that there's no more bodies. We think whoever did it's done. For now, at least.
So there's there's nothing? There hasn't been anything this whole time?
It's been, gosh, 9-10 years. No more bodies. We think the Reaper of Risen is done. I know we never found her. But the MO matches. I know that you never really liked that connection, but we think that, if it was him, then he retired.
Never got caught either, did he?
No. Another loose end.
Why is everything in the city gotta be a floating loose end?
So, not a single body on the case for 9 years? There hasn't been anything since she first vanished? Nothing?
No, we never found her.
I mean,
never
for God's
found.
sakes, I'm laying in.
No.
I mean,
We know last time
what
we
else am I
spoke,
supposed
it
to
had
do
been
with that? I'm
cold
laying
for a
on-
while.
No, I know it's been cold for a while, but I don't know. I was just. I've been thinking more. The restless are getting more restless, and they're particularly loud in my ear about it. I was in the engines the other day.
Makes sense.
Almost couldn't walk because of how loud the wailing was. I just, you know,
I know.
3 years, completely out of commission, unable to move, hardly able to eat, hardly able to anything, and I get out and she's gone, and there's nothing. I wake up and I'm this, and then I can't find her at all, and nothing. And it's been that same nothing for this whole time. There hasn't even been a single spark of a trail, a single maybe, a single allegedly, nothing. Just nothing.
At least you had an excuse. There's nothing. Sorry, Rook. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get heated up there. It just, there's gotta be something. Because I know if she was gone, I would have heard her by now. With every other voice that's in my ear every single night and every single day, anytime I pass any of these blasted pipes. I know she's somewhere. Because if she was gone, I know she would have found me to say something by now.
I don't know, Rook. I never heard mine either. She was just gone.
Yeah. Well, guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks for everything, and I'm really sorry for never dropping by.
It's okay. I'm not necessarily the type of guy you want to be around. I have a habit of breaking the things that matter to me.
Well, I think something else got there first in terms of all the break-ins, so I think you're good on that front as far as where I'm standing. But, you know, now that I'm, granted, not really by my own choice, but now that I'm a bit more mobilized, I'll drop by when I can, if that's alright with you.
Okay. But, you ain't broken, Rook. Not yet.
Well, I don't know, I sure look it, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure. And, I've been weighing this, but, if that girl's gonna be getting into trouble, give her this. And he reaches into a drawer and he pulls out a wooden box. So immediately it is very expensive. And he gives it to you. And with whatever respect you have left for me, just let that be a gift just for her, okay?
Yep, will do. Her eyes only, you got my word. But you don't gotta worry, I don't have any less respect for you, it's just, you know how I feel when it comes to stills.
Yeah. Maybe I'll learn a lesson from you sometime.
Wouldn't that be a change of pace? Just try your best to take care of yourself.
No promises. Take care.
You too. Just puts his hat back on, leaves the room.
As you begin to shut the door behind you, you see that Wrexham finishes the glass of rads on his desk. And as you go to close the door, you can't help but watch for an extra minute, but there's hesitation. He sits at his desk, and it is with a look of pure anguish on his face that after about 30 seconds, he goes over to where all of the broken up bits of mushroom are on the ground, and he begins to collect them. And that's when you shut the door. You meet everyone else in the hallway.
We took a while in there. Is everything okay?
Yeah, things are handled. Valentine, got something for you, actually.
For me?
You specifically. Courtesy of Wrexham in there.
She holds out her hands.
Just hands you the wooden box.
Okay.
Before you ask, I have no clue what's in it. I didn't ask. He said it was specifically for you. And I quote, if you're gonna keep going into this.
Thank you. Have you seen him like that before? Violent like that?
I mean, yeah, it's a belligerence, but that was a particularly sore nerve. Yeah, it's just, it hit a nerve. He's not usually terribly violent, but he's just, you reach a breaking point after a while. And he's been well past that.
Sure. Orion, are you all right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm okay. Honestly, it looks worse than it feels. Like I said, I've had practice, but I mean, for what it's worth, I didn't know that the nerve was that sore. But you know, we've all got to figure out a way to make it somehow on this floating hunk of rock. It's not easy. And I feel like that part he would look at Chrys, because Orion knows that this entire spectacle has just been spectacularly uncomfortable for Chrys. And it's just, it sucks to constantly feel like you're floating, to not have anywhere secure to come back to and know that everything could just be gone, you know? But that's just how it is. And we don't choose our walks of life. But I'll be damned if if me or you or anybody could be doing something about that, and they just don't. Because I get it. I mean, I can't say that I have it worse or that I've experienced what he's experienced, but God's damn it, you cannot be so wrapped up in yourself that we're just all trying to get by. And no one has the right to be so wrapped up in themselves that they're willing to withhold something that might help others. Otherwise, we'd just all be dragging each other down. Ain't that what this all is?
You don't know what you're talking about. That was a dead man in there. He gave us what he could. Let's go.
He seemed very like me. He seemed alive to me.
Only alive in the sense that his heart's still beating. I agree. Let's get out of here. Gotta figure out something to do.
At the first opportunity that I can take to duck behind a corner or even just like make a little tent with my hands, I'm gonna look in the box.
I'll say you can find a place to sort of privately look as you crack open the wooden box. There appears to be velvet cloth inside, and immediately you're hit by a strange smell. And you see on top of what appears to be a closed envelope with a wax seal are small green tubes, almost like needles, and it's attached to a like wooden stick. It's very small, and it smells earthen but crisp, and it's pleasant but unusual as you for the first time smell pine. As you immediately sniff the inside. They're very, very old and dry. Like, the smell is very faint, but you do smell it distinctly as you open it. This little bit of wood and greenery that's now mostly brown, but the scent still remains. And there is an envelope that you would have to, like, it would probably be a bigger deal to open it and read the letter. But as you sort of lift the envelope to see what's below it, you see a brilliantly shining steel pistol.
Oh.
So somebody did get a Glock today.
Nice.
She's going to fix her face and slowly close the lid and tuck it in her bag and go back to the group.
Chrys is very it still looks very... And they kind of just like have their hands to their chest and they're doing like this repetitive gesture with one of their hands.
What's the matter?
What isn't the matter?
Fair question. Where do we go from here?
Fair question.
I suppose we get to looking as to all the documents.
Yeah, I'm gonna sift through a lot of these, see what I can find. Wanna maybe... Valentine, you wanna give me a hand with some of the documents? Other people, maybe see if we can find a place to stay? Anything like that?
Well, if you're bringing the documents, you all can stay with me. I'm a wonderful hostess.
I'd expect nothing less.
What the podcasting audience could not see is the immediate look of strange distrust on Rook's face.
All right.
Well, yeah, seems like a good direction. But, yeah, I suppose.
Back.
Chrys, you still with us?
Hmm?
You still with us?
I don't think I have gone anywhere.
It's a figure of speech.
Oh.
You just, there's a lot on your mind.
That man was very angry and sad and he hit Orion, and that made me angry. And I'm still up here, and I want to go home.
Nah, well, it was kind of deserved. He got a good punch in. Gotta give him credit for that one.
We don't.
I wanted to.
Well, sometimes you say something and you get punched for it.
He gets it.
Especially in this line of work. So.
You didn't have the right.
It's not about right. It's just the mind does what the mind does. And clever as people may be with their professions, sometimes someone says something and you just want to punch them for it. But
Like I'm back in the Garden District.
Well, let's see. Without any further ado, we want to keep moving.
Let's go.
And you head back to Valentine's apartment?
Certainly seems like it.
All right. And you're able to do so, making your way back to the edge of Border Town and then into the lower deck proper. Take the gondola down a couple more levels until you get deeper, nearly to the hold itself, and then march along to, the area around the fading light. And Valentine's pretty small apartment here in the lower decks. But as you are moving through, so you sort of fall behind a little bit, and Chanterelle tugs at the corner of your cloak and looks up at you and goes, "This is kind of taking a while."
Yes, I know. Perhaps I am hoping that the things that we got there will fix it. And then we can go home.
Right, but it's like what I told you before. We don't need them. We've never needed anybody. I want to go home.
I want to go home as well. Very badly.
Well, I'm with you wherever. Whatever you choose.
Perhaps after this, if it does not fix it, we will just ask to go home.
How many times do we need to let them try to fix it? How many more chances?
Well, we went there to get the thing to fix it. So, I think that is what we are doing. I hope we are almost done.
Okay. Whatever you say. And Chanterelle grabs your leg and scrambles on and then begins doing like the soft sloth chewing on the gnarled part of your wrist bone. And just beaming cutely, a little shoestring from an abandoned boot tied around their little fungal waist with the little sharpened day chip hanging off the end. The little gift from Morin as you guys make your way all the way back to Valentine's apartment and start spreading out papers and getting ready to do your investigation. And as the scene starts to set, I'm going to ask Valentine, do you slip away to read the letter?
Yes.
You open up this crisp letter. It's very clear from just everything about it that it is new. It was folded and put in the envelope once and never opened, never sent. This gift has remained undisturbed since the moment it was packed. And as you read the letter, it says, "Darling, I promised you a taste of my home. I used to come from a place with more trees than you can ever imagine. The The trees have needles, but they don't hurt. I'll show you sometime. But in the meantime, I want you to take care. The other gift in here is meant to keep you safe. If you let me be so bold as to care about your safety. I know we've danced around this thing for a while, but I want there to be more here. I want there to be something. And I'm too scared to tell you to your face. But this is me telling you. I know this isn't romantic, but the most romantic thing I can think to do for you is to tell you to save yourself. To protect yourself. To live even when this God's forsaken place tells you to just go numb and let what happens, happen. You deserve that, Angel. You and the kid. Let me be the better man for you. Signed, Rex.
The Drifting City is a production of The Rolling Waves, a group of friends who wanted to make a creative project together. Your drifters are Lily Bell as Chrys, Aspen Langford as Morin, Porter Hurst as Orion, Victor Thorne as Rook, Marilyn David as Valentine, and Ray Hamilton as the narrator. Editing and sound design by everyone at The Rolling Waves. Episode titles and descriptions by everyone at The Rolling Waves. Music, sound effect, class, subclass, and other credits can be found in the episode description. Thank you for listening to our story.
And that's where we'll end this episode.
There's a kid.
I'm so sick. Yeah, I think
Why
we might
would-
know the kid.